We're still compelled over 300 years later by the crisis of the Salem witch trials.
I think there are a lot of lessons from the Salem witch trials that we can carry forward to the present and even into the future.
It seemed like a good opportunity to maybe think about the contemporary resonance of this material.
My name is Paula Richter.
I'm Dan Lipkin.
I'm Lydia Gordon. I'm an associate curator at the Peabody Essex Museum and a co-curator.
I'm one of the co-curators.
I am one of the 3 curators for the Salem Witch Trials Reckoning and Reclaiming.
We have the largest collection of original documents from the trials. Preliminary examinations of accused witches. We have warrants for arrest, death warrants, testimonies, both for and against accused witches. That's kind of what I bring to the table, is I'm kind of the document guy in a way. You know, the documents are the closest thing that we have to the actual events as they occurred, the truth of the matter. We also have objects that either belong to or are associated with families and individuals that were involved in the trials.
I did a lot of work with the historical objects that are on display. I also did a lot of work in the Alexander McQueen and Elizabeth Howe section. Alexander McQueen was a British designer. He worked from the 1990s until 2010. In 2006, he discovered one of the accused women in the Salem witch trials is in his ancestral family tree. And he designed a complete fashion collection in memory of his ancestor, Elizabeth Howe. There is a wonderful collection of the documents. It's really a case study of the experience of Elizabeth Howe herself. It draws attention to her agency, that she spoke out in her own self-defense.
So my role is to bring in voices of living artists today, and we have curated Frances F. Denny, who's a contemporary photographer, and her portrait series, Major Arcana: Portraits of Witches in America. Modern witches and witchcraft today mean something totally different. And Frances's project diversify our perception of this very narrow definition. The portraits are stunning. These are subjects that are incredibly empowered, self-defined witches. People whose identities were not thrust upon them, as in the 17th century, and that identity is incredibly diverse. No 2 witches are alike.
It's an endlessly fascinating, very complicated story.
I think we have a lot to learn as far as being more tolerant, being more charitable. There were people in 1692 who were courageous enough to speak up and testify on behalf of their neighbors and their friends and their family members who had been accused. They spoke out against injustice. And that's what we hope to encourage in this exhibition.